My name is Shalvah Orah, your source for exploring who you are, why you're here, and how to make a difference. And this week we've got a great question from Sarah, and Sarah writes, I feel like my relationship with my partner has lost its spark. We love each other, but lately it feels like we are living in Groundhog Day, having the same conversations, doing the same things, and not really growing as a couple. I really crave more intimacy and passion. I want to go deep and be real. How do we get back the intimacy and passion we once had? Thanks, Sarah. Sarah, great question. I think that intimacy is such a great topic because we all want it, but we don't really know how to get it. And if we do, the few of us that do get it, we don't really know how to keep it. So, what does it look like to really develop and maintain intimacy within a sacred partnership over time? Let's take a look. Let's just take a look at the top 3 ways, the 3 intimacy keys for how to really develop, what's really required for a healthy relationship to work in the long run. So let's dive right in. So key number 1 is vulnerability. Yes, I said it, vulnerability. A willingness to be vulnerable is so key in the context of intimacy. And vulnerability literally means to be open to the potential of getting hurt, of emotional hurt. And that's not always something that we want to hear. And vulnerability is also connected to your ability to have a full range of expression. So it really is connected to how much are you really willing to look inside, and how much are you really willing to explore those shadows and those fears and those doubts and the desires and all of that. So it really is, how willing are you to explore your full range as a human being, and how willing are you to do that within a sacred partnership? How willing are you to let yourself be vulnerable in front of someone else? So that's a big key, is it really is going into your shadows and your desires, and it's really about healing the wounds of your past through that work of your intimate union. So that's a big key. Vulnerability is number 1. Number 2, what do you think number 2 is? Trust. Yes, trust is huge in intimacy. And these are like keys, meaning you can't really have an intimate relationship without these 3 things in place. And by trust, we're really talking about a committed container of safety. Okay, so I'm going to say that again, a committed container of safety. So it's a place where both people in the relationship feel safe to be vulnerable. Because if you don't have that container and you don't feel safe to really be in your vulnerability, then it's really doesn't really leave any room for growth. It doesn't really leave any room for expansion, room for that passion. You can have superficial levels of passion, but the real passion comes from developing intimacy, and that really does take that safe container. So know that, it is hard to do that if you don't have that mutual understanding of trust, that your relationship is a container for trust and is a container for intimacy to happen. And the third piece is, it takes time. Intimacy does not happen overnight. Intimacies are not one-night stands, as we know. Intimacy is really about creating that safe container where you can be vulnerable over an extended period of time. So again, it doesn't happen just in a moment. It really does take a commitment on both people to really go into it. You're in it for the long haul, and the time piece is what really does create that container and really does build that container to be strong. So vulnerability, trust, and time are these 3 keys that really do create a safe container for intimacy to really develop and happen and blossom. So those are 3 ways that you can really take and use right now, and ask yourself, honestly, where are you on those 3 levels within your relationship at this moment right now? And is there room to grow in any of those things? Because one thing that I think we forget a lot is living this spiritual path Sacred relationship is a powerful spiritual path. So the more that you're able to develop that intimate connection within yourself, it's willing to go to those shadow parts of yourself within yourself, but also to do that within the context of relationships. So keeping both of those balanced. So there you go, though. There's your 3 keys for this week. And if you liked this video and you want to see more, please share it with your friends. And as always, go back to shalvah.com and sign up for email updates if you want to hear more, so that you can always be in the know. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.